He can do it at Madison Square Garden. There's like some good spots for him to break the record.
But at Madison Square Garden, he doesn't have, like, I guess because it's Madison Square Garden, there's people would say the mecca of the NBA basketball arenas and all that, but there's no adversarial relationship with the team or the arena, so it loses some luster, right? If this was a Reggie Miller or Michael Jordan or something like that, then it probably would
feel right.
It would feel right.
Yeah, it wouldn't feel as right, but at least there'd be some kind of story. He did it at the Garden.
Max, can I tell you something that feels right? I was thinking about Steph last night, watching him play, and I thought to myself, he's the most revolutionary offensive player the game has ever seen. Now, I'm not going to say off the court, because Michael Jordan obviously destroys that game with Brand Jordan, the way he transcends the culture. But just on the court, he's transcended of the game. He's inverted offenses. You have, and when I look at LeBron, or when I look at Julius Erving, or when I look at Magic Johnson,
Elgin
or
Baylor,
Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan, 6'6", 40-inch vertical. Like, it's not attainable for kids. LeBron James, Karl Malone, right? Karl Malone,
vertical.
Magic Johnson.
48-inch vertical.
Not attainable, right?
40, I was about to say, damn, that's not very high.
40 is really high. By the
No,
way.
that's crazy.
40 is really high, yeah. LeBron James, Karl Malone, and Magic Johnson combined, right? Steph, 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
You got kids out there saying, yo, I could do that. I feel like, even though we know they can't, it feels like they can.
I always felt like the 2016, and I was there. I went there as a fan, bought tickets and everything, because I thought that was going to be the changing of the guard, that Steph would now be the face of the NBA. He'd beat LeBron. They'd have 73 wins and the chip. And in that moment, in that fourth quarter, you could bristle at this, Jay, because, but chips on the line. They had such a choke job. That was the moment for me that Steph was going to, and I thought he was going to do it, take over the NBA. That didn't happen. However, he, and I would also say Draymond Green, revolutionized the way the game is played. The way they play the pick and roll, the 5 men out, the whole thing. The
continuity of the offense.
The fact that, forget about the fact the ball doesn't stick with Steph. The three-point line, that gives you 3 points. Why would you ever back up from that? Because you don't get any extra points. But what winds up happening is you create extra space, and now everyone on the team shoots it better because rotations are slower. They have to cover more ground. It completely changed the way the game is played.
Combo guard, just a game changer. Dame changed the game, too, though, in a different way.
Well, speaking of Damian Lillard, he didn't play for Portland, but was on with Scott Van Pelt. SVP played this clip for Dame from the summer when Lillard talked to Mark Spears about his future in Portland. So it's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Here is Damian Lillard on his future in Portland. Listen.
Over the summer, I was just like, I want to win. What is next year going to look like? And when we brought in Chauncey, it was just like for me, I made the decision that, I'm not going to bail out on him. I want to be a part of the success of a African-American coach. I don't want to leave him out to dry, So it was important for me to be here and to try to achieve like that ultimate success with him.
So here's Scott Van Pelt. Keep that in mind. Here's Scott Van Pelt last night asking Dame if anything has changed since he said that over the summer.
Nothing at all has changed as far as what I said in that clip. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say, and we haven't had the start that we wanted, but we're a work in progress, and myself, the rest of my teammates, and Chauncey, it's a partnership with them, and everybody wants to win, everybody wants to, get this thing turned around, and I'm just trying to be a part of the solution to that, and get us going in the right direction, and that takes time. We knew it was going to be some growing pains with a new coaching staff, first-time head coach, and so many new guys, and we just working our way through it.
So that's Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. Jay, rumors Dame wants out of Portland. What do you hear when you hear that from Dame?
He wants to be repaid for his loyalty. Yeah, give me $55 million when I'm 35, 36 years old. Make me the highest paid player in the NBA. I want to be here. Dame is never going to say, I do not want to be here. You will never hear that from Dame. He is one of the most loyal people ever when it comes to the game of basketball. And I respect the hell out of that for what he stood with Chauncey Billups and being an African-American coach and doing that for the community of Portland. But the question is it in Portland's best interests due to cap issues to keep Dame because of the money he's asking? He already had a $176 million 4-year deal. He's asking for another $107 million on top of that for another 2 years on the back end. I already feel like Portland's at this place where they want to rebuild. The question is, can you rebuild with Dame? And I don't think you can.
I think they can rebuild Dame. He certainly wants to be in Portland. He's very, very loyal to Portland, a team that drafted him. He's been there his entire career. So everything that I know and talking to people that I know that's really, really close to him, money is not an issue, but the opportunity to secure the rest of your future with a team that you feel could potentially, with Chauncey Billups, turn into something if you can get the right pieces around him. He doesn't want to abandon them, but at the same time is a ticking in his career to the point where you have an opportunity, if you get the right pieces, to push for a championship. A couple years ago, they did it, but they couldn't get over Golden State. And now you kind of hit the reset button by bringing Chauncey in, and over the next couple years, they should be in a better position if they could just put the right pieces around.
I think it's so difficult to win a championship. If you, like, we're kicking around names, who could be on the move? If, let's say, Portland got Bradley Beal and Karl Anthony Towns with Damian Lillard, and they put the right pieces around those guys, maybe they could win a championship. It's extremely difficult. Like, the teams that win are just stacked. I don't know if they can do that in Portland. And, Jay, I agree with you. There's a way of saying, look, this doesn't make sense for anyone involved, and I'll show you why. This is what I need to stay. This is what would make sense, and that doesn't make sense for you. So why don't you just move me? There's enough smoke around him wanting out that I think that's the case based on, hey, give me $55 million a year when I'm 36 years old.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.